Hi, my name is Brian Knight from Pragmatic Works. Over the past few months, we've been interviewing countless teachers, principals, and leaders in the industry for education. And today we're happy to actually release a free set of applications for the K12 education sector. These applications are meant for the classroom to make your class fun, enjoyable, and more productive. So, in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually install those applications, what they are, and then lastly, how to configure them. So stay tuned. The applications we're going to be using today are within Power Apps for Teams. If you have Microsoft Teams, you already have a license of Power Apps for Teams. So it's included in your Office 365 plan, chances are. Now, whether your organization has this turned on or not might be a little bit questionable, but in most cases, this will be turned on at most educators. All right, so the applications we built are a series of apps that will, the goal was to make it where it was free to install, free to download, and free to configure if you wanted to also. Now, if you want additional training on how we built these, or if you want additional customization, please reach out to me at bknight@pragmaticworks.com. Otherwise, this video should hopefully get you installed, configured, and ready to go. So let's take a look at the 4 or 5 applications that we built. So the first application is a gamification app to make the class more enjoyable and fun and more productive for the students and teachers. There's 2 pieces of the application. One part is the teacher area and one part is the student area. Now you can only see the area you have permission to. And I'll show you later where you can configure who the teachers are and who the students are. So let's start with the teacher view. I'm about to start a class. I'm going to start my Algebra 1 class. And I'm going to go ahead and give Brian Knight here, once he comes in here. I'll click on Brian Knight. Okay, and I'm going to reward him with 200 points for helping another classroom. Now, these set of point systems here are completely driven by you. You have positive points and negative points, and you'll also see there's a notify parents section down below if you want to notify the parent that the student did an amazing thing. We don't have any descriptions here because the goal of it was to make it very fast. So I can tap this, and then immediately it gives me points. I move up to second place now, from 250 points now to 450 points. Now, there also is a leaderboard for the students where they can see where they rank among other ones. So in Algebra 1, I rank here. Now, these applications are really geared at one-to-one relationships with technology. In other words, every student has a laptop or a tablet typically for this to work, for a team environment. But most of the United States, we find, and parts of the world are using Teams in the classrooms. Now, it is also geared for a teacher that has a team environment where they might have multiple classes in one team. But it can also be configured where you only see one button, where you only have one class per team as well. You can also configure it where you have the entire school district. This is actually looking at only my classes here as me as a teacher here. I'm marked as a teacher and a student. This is my leaderboard here, and these are only the classes that I'm part of. Now, if I want to go ahead and spend those points, I can go to Shop. I can go ahead and say, all right, I was in Algebra 1 here. I don't have enough points for Algebra 1, but do I have enough points for English 2? I do. So I've got about 13,000 points. I'm going to go ahead and buy a Skip a Quiz one here. And now it puts it in my backpack. It deducted the points. Now my leaderboard does remain the same. I still have 20,000 points, even though I spent 6,700 of those points. Now that I've done it, the teacher may want to fulfill that Skip a Quiz. So if I go over to teachers here, and go to Class Shop, I want to go ahead and fulfill that in English 2, Brian had Skip a Quiz. All right, Brian's now ready to skip a quiz. I'll hit fulfill, and now it removes it from his backpack, and he got whatever grade I set on Skip a Quiz. Again, you control what rewards the students can do. We find a lot of times, a lot of people we interviewed, they had little treasure chests in front of the classroom, and they might have some candy or some little prizes up there. They might have a class point system where if you get enough points as a class, you get a pizza party. There's also extra recess, extra internet time, whatever you might be doing, you can put inside of this in the administration app. So this is one application, the gamified classroom. The other applications are going to feed this. So for example, in the reading log, it can optionally send points into the system as well. So for the reading log, I have a student view where I can go ahead and on Monday the 14th, I'm going to go ahead and log a new book. And let's say I did Harry Potter. Okay. I can optionally start on page 1, page 12, whatever, and go to page 44. I'm thinking this is an excellent book so far, and I can go ahead and have the parent sign this. Now, whether the parent signs this or not is up to you. You control whether this block shows up or not. I'll hit save, and now Harry Potter shows up right there as well. It celebrates, and then the teacher gets a view right here where they can see who's read what book. And right now it's turned it off right now, but when I select a certain day, I can see who's read each book. Okay, so that's the reading log. The other books, other ones here. Let me go back here again. Oh, K12, where are you? There we are. The other one is the formative learning example. So this is a class assessment. So you can use this for either doing a quiz and grade the quiz automatically, or I can use this to go ahead, teacher reads me a code, I then enter the room. Now in this case, I've already answered both questions, but it handles things like multiple choice questions and it handles fill in the blank questions. So for the first one, it asks you 2 plus 2 and it has 25. Now the teacher view looks like this. The teacher view, I go to my assignment manager here, and you'll see a list of all the assessments that I've already preloaded in. Now, I can edit those, add questions, take away questions, do whatever I want. I can say, yes, this assessment is actually a quiz, or it's a live thing where I'm doing live. I want to make sure I do not go forward with this question until I know everybody's got that first question down. So if I go and actually teach this class, this one live, you notice I have 2 plus 2 is now a live question for this chat room. We can see Brian did 25. Julia got it right. So I probably shouldn't go forward with Brian until I'm certain that he's ready. But let's go forward and let's do a multiple choice question with 1 plus 1 this time. This was a free text. This was a multiple choice. So when I release this question, we can now see who has this one right. All right, Brian got 4. Jeremiah got 3. Julia, again, our smart student, only want to get it right now. So obviously I'm doing something wrong with my basic arithmetic here. I should not go forward. You can also see I'm putting 5 points into the person's gamified system if they get this question right as well. That's optional. Now you'll see it actually advanced to 1 plus 1. I get 5 points for getting it right. So again, every time I release this question, in about 5 seconds, every student will also reflect the new question as well. So right now I'm showing 1 plus 1, and in about 2 seconds, it should say 2 plus 2, and so on and so on. So there we go. I got 1 plus 1 right now. There we go. There's 2 plus 2. And you can tell this is free text in this case. So this allows us to kind of release, and before I introduce a new topic, I can go ahead and make sure everybody understands the existing topic. So this doesn't have to be just math. This could be history. It could be English. It could be something like show the noun in this current sentence, and you have a list of type the noun in. It could be spelling questions, where you just say, you just read the question off. You don't actually show it here. You just read it off, and they type in the spelling one. So it's whatever kind of question you want, you can put inside this. I did this math because I thought it made sense in this easy example here. The last one is a reading, I should read line. So, the student check-in one. This may be for the little kids in this case, but some high school teachers I found were also interested in this question. This is where a student can go through, and I'll say it's American history right now, and how am I emotionally feeling right now for the day? A lot of teachers were using this on a whiteboard, where they had a big poster board, and they would have the students circle or initial how they felt that day. They would write their name in that slot. Some of them were doing PDFs, and those kind of very undigital-like. So in this case, I can say how I feel. I'm great, or I need help today. I don't understand. Our parents fights or something like that. And when I'm all done, I hit save. Now, the teacher then gets a rolled up view. So if I go to American history here, I get a rolled up view of how each student is today. If I have a disruptive student, I can tell they're struggling already today. So something's going wrong right now at the home, and that's why they're probably doing this. You can also go back in time and see how students were doing over time as well, if you wanted to. So this also refreshes every few seconds, so that way you're every 5 seconds. So you can see as people enter that in the beginning of the day, how they're actually feeling. So the goal of these applications was to replace a lot of paper that people were doing, PDF quiz assignments, and pop quizzes, those kind of things, with what we're seeing here digitally. Now, if you have any questions, you can also email me at bknight@pragmaticworks.com, or any kind of bugs that you see. Let us know, because we will be improving this over the next few weeks. All right, so how do I install this now? Well, let's go ahead and create a brand new team to install this, but chances are you already have a team for your classroom or for your environment. So I'm going to create a brand new team here. Okay. So by the way, let me stop back here. I went to Teams here, and I'm going to hit Create a Team at the bottom. Now, chances are, again, you already have a team you're going to use here, and that's absolutely fine. But I'm going to start one from scratch just so you guys can see this. I'll make it a public team, and I'll call it Brian YouTube, just so we're all on the same page, and I'll hit Create. Now, this might take a few seconds to create. Usually no more than like 10 seconds to create or so. And then now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and skip the assignments of people, and we'll see Brian YouTube right here. Now that I've done that, I want to go ahead and add the Power Apps tile. You can do that by hitting the little dot underneath this little area right here. Okay, and go ahead and search for Power Apps. There it is. Once you find it, click on it. You can also right-click and pin it so it doesn't go away if you wanted to. This is going to enable you to actually import my solution. So once I do this, I'm going to hit Start Now. By hitting Start Now, it's going to install a database inside of my team's environment. This database is called the Dataverse database. It allows for 1 gig of data, and it's looking for Brian there. There's Brian YouTube. I'll go ahead and select Brian YouTube and hit Create. It allows for 1 gig of data, 2 gigs of data, or 1 million rows in a given table. So again, 2 gigs of data, 1 million rows, and that's all for free in your team's environment, or already included in your team's license. Not necessarily free per se. All right, now I'm going to hit close here, but in a moment I'll see the little Teams pop up saying it's now ready. Okay, now while it's doing its thing right now, let me show you where you can download this. If you go to the GitHub link, that's part, oh, there it is. I just got the Teams link right now saying it's done. If you go to the GitHub link in the description of this video. All right, so you'll find out where that's at. So let me go ahead and go to my GitHub link. It now opens up this. I will go to releases over here. Okay. I'll then go ahead and download the current release by clicking source code. All right, there it goes. Now it's going to download a zip file which contains another zip file. So make sure you go ahead and find this zip file. This guy right here is mine. I'll go ahead and uncompress it, and there is my zip file within a zip file. All right. So let me go ahead and extract that out and put it somewhere that I want. You'll also find a README file in there likely as well. So I'm going to go ahead and remember the path I'm putting it in. I'll extract it out. There we go. And again, oh, there we go. And there's another zip file. So we have another zip file here. So, and what we're looking for is the zip file right here, the mockup K12. I will, by the time I release this video, I'll make sure it's only one uncompressed, but it looks like at this time it's actually 2 uncompresses here, because the one we want is this mockup K12 export. So let me go ahead and move that over as well. I'll uncompress it one more time. But this file right here is the one that you want to import into your team site. Okay? There's also a README file here that will kind of walk you through some light directions, but this video will be a superset of that README file. All right, so this file right here is the one you want. So the biggest mistake people make is and including myself, is they'll try to import this file, not the mockup file. All right, so once this is done, I'm going to go back over to my team site. All right, there's my team site. And let's find my Brian one. There's my Brian YouTube right here. Now, it's going to make me, even though I dismissed this, you'll notice there's no import button up here. What I'm looking for right now is a see all button. And you see it spins and spins and spins, and it'll eventually just come back and say, hey, you haven't built anything yet. But I need a see all button. Now, at the time of this recording, the only way to get the see all button is to hit the new button here and just create a fake app. So I'm gonna hit new app. Now, chances are, if you're watching this a few months from now, that might actually be there. I'll go ahead and hit the save button. I just created a fake app. I hit new app and I just created a fake app. Doesn't really matter what I call it. And then I can go back to the build button once this finished saving. Okay, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, this should take about 10 seconds more to save. The build button is up top here. That's how you're going to find always how to get back to that area I was just in. So I hit the build button. I went to Brian YouTube. There's my See All button that we have. So I'll click on that See All button. Okay, and there is my import button that I need. So let's go ahead and select this import. Let's browse out to the folder that I just exported that mockup file into. All right, and I want to go inside. Oh, I don't think that's actually my folder. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay. That looks like what I want right there. For some reason, it's not showing it though. Okay, I'm looking for there. Oh, that's a problem. I didn't actually uncompress that. This is my zip file here. All right, let's try this again. I was going to do this in my main download folder. There we go. So there's my mockup folder right there. Let's go to downloads. There's my mockup file right there. So make sure you get the mockup and not the main file there. So when I select the mockup, I'll hit next. Now this process might take up to 5 or 10 minutes to actually import. It's importing a lot of tables into this team site right now. It's not importing data though, just the tables and just the applications. Okay, so it might take a few minutes to actually do that. In my test, it was about 5 minutes or so to do that, but so we'll keep on moving forward while it does that. Here it goes. Now it's going to show us what it's going to import, all the tables, the Canvas applications, and so on. I'll then hit import, and then it's going to go away and actually tell me it's importing for the next 5 or 10 minutes. You'll know it's done when you can click all, and you'll see all the stuff listed right here. I hit build to get here, I hit YouTube, I hit see all, and then you'll see all my stuff right here. So for the time being, let me show you an existing one that I just imported in so we can kind of play with that one instead. All right, so I'll go back to build. I'm going to go to my other test site that I just had open, which was my deployment site here. Okay, so let's imagine we have everything installed. So when I go to see all now, we'll see all the stuff out there now. Now, inside this left pane, we can click on apps and we'll see the 5 apps that I showed you. I showed you 4 apps so far, including my little fake one right here. Okay, now that we've done that, there's one piece that I want to show you next, and that is this app configuration app. Go ahead and click on that app configuration app, and this is how we're going to configure how we want the app to behave. It's going to look a little bit funny at first because it's going to be missing theme colors and all that, but let's just kind of walk through it step by step. Now, you'll also notice in the directions of this on my GitHub, back at my main GitHub, there is some directions right here with all the variables we're about to add to this application. So see how funny it looks right now? That's because those variables don't exist. So, I'm going to preview this application, and the first thing I want to do is click on that first one. It's a little hard to see, but it actually says variable configuration. So hit that first icon right here. Next, I'm going to hit new record about 10 times when it all comes down. Let's do it once though right now. Then I'll go to my directions. I'll copy, I'll paste, I'll copy, and I'll paste. So that's my variable, that's my value. Make sure you get rid of the spaces here. When you're all done, you can barely see it, but there's a checkbox in the top right. Once you do that, watch what happens. That's my header field, and now I have kind of that blue color now. Now you can of course change these hex codes to your own school colors. I just wanted to kind of get something done. I'll hit new record again, paste it in, get rid of that space, paste in my FFFF. There we go. Hit the checkbox again. It gets really hard to see up front. It's about to change here. Now there it goes. Now it changed. That's because this one right here was for my fill color for the header and my text color for the header. Now we'll do the background. Hit the new button. Every time you do this, the app is going to look a little bit prettier. Again, make sure you kill those kind of spaces that I'm seeing each time. Hit the checkbox. There we go. Now I got a background of my app. Component fill is going to take care of the other one. Again, hit new record again. Get rid of that space, paste in the color. All right, checkbox, okay. That's for the button color. This is for the text color on those buttons. That's what the component fill does. And this is gonna be white color, is F's. Again, you can find what color works for you. All right, new record again. This is the secondary color. This one's used for that left pane that you see right there. And at this point, we'll start to see the stuff start to come in. I'll paste that in. And the last one is this text color for that. There we go, new record. I'll see it starting to come together. The minute I do this, it's going to start to have the proper colors on it. This should be a hashtag Fs. Hit the checkbox. There we go. Now we have some white. Now the app looks a little more complete. The last one is up to you. This one you definitely want to have, but this one is whether you want the parents to sign off on the reading assignments. You can put true or false here, completely up to you, but make sure you put something like that. And make sure it's a lowercase true, lowercase false. When I hit go, there we go, that now lights up. So now we have all the variables, and now all of our applications will look so much cleaner now. Next, you can go to Student Admin, and you can go ahead and add the students if you want here. It's already added myself now, but we can go ahead and add the students. You can see the information I have on myself here. I can go ahead and assign certain classes. I would probably go ahead and create the classes first over here. You'll see I go ahead and create a class called Brian's Ego class, something like that. What subject is it? This is this drop-down box you control. Hit save, there we go. And who's enrolled in this class? I hit the little enroll button, and now Brian is enrolled in my class, for example. And I can leave that right here as well. Now you can also import this from an Excel spreadsheet. You can also import this eventually when data flows gets to Teams, which is very soon, hopefully. You'll also be able to import it from your existing student information system if you wanted to. But for the time being, just add the 30 or so students that you have in each class, and then you're ready to rock and roll. So again, you can keep on adding classes. Class 2, what subject is that one? Hit save. Who's enrolled in class 2? Select it. You see nobody's enrolled in it. This one's Brian's enrolled in this one. So again, there's my teacher admin. We can see what teachers we have. Right now, I'm just going to add myself and my email address. Oops. Okay, make sure you do lowercase just in case. All right, I'll hit save. And now I've got the class. And which classes am I teaching? Well, I'm teaching this Brian's Ego class, of course, and also class 2Q. So now I'm now teaching those two classes. All right, next we have our reward system. What rewards do you want to put in here? I'll put eye contact with Brian, which is going to be 200 points here for that one. It's a biggie. Hit submit. And which classes am I putting that reward in? I'll put it in this my Ego class here in this case. And then lastly, you also have the point categories. How do you want to reward students, and how do you want to distance them? So I'll put made eye contact with Brian, and that'll be negative 200 points. And I'll hit save. And there we go. All right, so there we go. We have our system now in place. So now all of our applications are now ready to go. So now if I go back to the build one, and let's look at just one application to kind of show you what I mean. I'll go over to apps, back in this environment here, go over to see all. I'll go to apps, and my last step is deploy this to Teams. I'll look for my gamified classroom. And once I open this up, it takes a few seconds to open up, but all you're going to have to do is just kind of run through it one time, make sure it looks good, change your logo, put your name up there for the teacher, do whatever you want to do to customize this application. Notice it has my color scheme now in place, but you can now change the header bar if you want, to change it to whatever app name you want. Now, if you hit the preview app right there, little play button in the top right, you can kind of see what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and go to my live class. You'll see Brian's the only one in there. And I don't have anything for that one. Live class, I'll do 2Q. I don't have anybody in that class, looks like. So this is how you can go ahead and now reward the students if I had any points assigned to those students there. All right, and you can also, students can shop, and you can see eye contact with Brian and all those kind of things in there as well for the Ego class. That's the only class I'm enrolled in, so I'm only seeing the eye contact. So all of our stuff is now coming together. But once you're ready to actually publish this, escape the preview mode and actually publish this to Teams up in the top right. So hit the publish to Teams. And it's going to then ask you which team site you want to go to, which is going to be my main team site, and which channel do you want to go to in that team site. So it'll ask you, it's a little hard to read right now because I have the dark theme right now. But if I hit the plus button right here on my general tab, I'll hit save and close. And now that application is inside of my team site and ready to go. So as you make changes, make sure you save and publish the team each time you make changes to the application. But this is a starting block for getting you going on teams in your classroom. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at bknight@pragmaticworks.com, or leave your comments in here. If you have any ideas, I'd love to see your ideas of what you want changed in the comments of this video also. Again, this is a free application. Make it your own. It's on GitHub, and you'll find the description, the link to that, and the description of all the apps in the description of this video. So see details on the description, and it will blow up that. Now at Pragmatic Works, we also can help you build a custom app by doing hackathons, by we teach you how to build these apps. We have training around how to build applications in Power BI and Azure as well. But if you want to learn how to build an application like this, a hackathon is a perfect answer for you. With hackathons, we build your application with you having your hands on the keyboard. So we never actually touch the keyboard. We're just teaching you how to build that application. Thanks for watching this video. Please do subscribe if you want to find out more videos. We actually have plans for releasing more apps for the administration side of the school district and other applications like this. We also have a vaccine tracker for uploading vaccine cards for the school district. So if you have any questions, please do email me, but have a great day, and thanks for watching this video today. Bye-bye.